Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ellen Hurley, Mary Hurley's sister. I'm very excited and privileged to welcome all of you on behalf of my sister and the entire Hurley family to help us kick off this event for her candidacy for Governor's Council in the 8th District. Please consider joining her campaign. There's 2 tables at the entrances as you came in, and they have much information, and if you need to and you're up to it, you can go on the website, which is electmaryhurley.com. We have a very, 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 very short speaking program tonight. It's my honor to introduce to you an outstanding former public servant in the role of district attorney, who is another person who couldn't retire and is now a practicing attorney in Springfield. He's known my sister and my family for many, many years. He's known Mary as a practicing attorney as well as a judge. He is going to introduce Mary to you tonight. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Bennett.
Thank you, Ellen. As I look across the room this evening, I see many people who have been longtime friends and supporters of Mary Hurley. The outstanding qualities that make her a great leader and help create her authentic personality are well known to many of the people here in the room this evening. She is shy, quiet, reserved. She doesn't have many opinions. And those that she has, she keeps to herself. She's not combative. She avoids controversy. She's never said a bad word about anybody in public or private. And she thinks that golf is a 4-letter word. But many of us here this evening also know that she has an unmatched record of accomplishment and experience. She's been a judge of the trial court for 19 years. She was a practicing attorney for 18 years. She was the mayor of the city of Springfield. She was a professor at Western New England College of Law. She was a trustee of Our Lady of the Elms, a trustee of the Springfield Library Museum Association, and she was a member of the board of directors of many important organizations in our community, including the Providence Health Systems and the Springfield Symphony Orchestra. She has been an active participant in the social and civic affairs of Western Massachusetts for 40 years. 40 years. And during the 40 years, let's hear it for 40 years. During that time, she has dedicated herself to the law and to public service. She has earned the respect and the appreciation of our entire community. There is no one more qualified to represent our interests, and all of us can be confident that she will act with integrity and competence to represent those interests on our behalf. Tonight, as she re-enters the political arena, it is my great pleasure to have the opportunity to introduce to you Mary Hurley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for coming. I especially want to thank former DA Bennett. He'll always be DA to me, Bill. Although I'm afraid he's getting a little hard of hearing, I asked him to toast me, not roast me. I want to thank all of my family and friends and supporters for being here at this kickoff event. The good news is that my speech is shorter than the number of people who are elected officials who I'm going to read to you right now, or are candidates for office, and are here this evening to join us. I'm going to start with somebody who's a relative and he's third generation West Springfield. My great-grandfather was chief of police in West Springfield and found out it was more lucrative to be the tax collector, so that's what he ran for next. I'm not in favor of raising taxes, however. My cousin John Sweeney, who's the town council president in West Springfield, is here. It's good to see you, John. Billy Foley, former member of the Springfield City Council and a colleague of mine for a long time. The next one I'm going to do out of order because I don't want him to get any older. Mayor William Sullivan, my mentor, my friend, and somebody I've admired for I can't even tell you how many years, is here this evening. He was 91 yesterday. And Mary Boland used to be an attorney and a city councilor in Springfield. She's another role model. She came up to speak at the Elms College when I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. And she was a pretty good role model as well. Also happened to be the only girl who ever captured Congressman Eddie Boland's heart. And now she's a hell of a chauffeur. It's good to see you, Mayor. Paul Karen, former state rep and a good friend of mine when I was mayor. He was one of the ones that helped me so much in terms of our dire financial condition, and he knows finances inside and out. Thank you, Paul, for being here. What can I say about the next guy? He always gets to the goal line. He's got his helmet on, and even though he's not going to be sheriff, well, maybe not sheriff for much longer, he's been one hell of a sheriff for over 40 years. And recognized nationally for his creative leadership, his creative programs, and keeping people from going back into jail and from going back to breaking in our cars and our houses. So we owe you a big debt of gratitude, Mike. It's great to see you and your wife here this evening. Thank you. Rich Thoreau, who's the town clerk of Agawam and a good friend of mine. Dennis Powers, good man to know, former chairman of the License Commission in West Springfield. Police Chief Camperciani of West Side as well. I think I'm covered in West Side. I feel pretty good. Tony Pellegrino, a former fire commissioner in the city of Springfield when I was there. Good to see you, Tony. Former city councilor Tim Ryan, whose father, Charlie Ryan, has proved it's never too late for a second career. Former library trustee is here with his mom, Tim Seeley from East Long Meadow, and Ian Seeley, who was a former school committee person there for a long, long time and did a great job. This next fellow needs no introduction, but I'm going to start with, I taught him everything he knows. He worked for me as an aide in my office when I was mayor, and I think he's doing a fantastic job now as the mayor of the city of Springfield, Dominic Sarno. Springfield School Committee man, Peter Murphy, former assistant DA, former park commissioner, Robert Rabbi Ryan. He drove the buffalo out of Forest Park. Candidate for sheriff, Nick Cochi. Former Springfield Police Chief when I was mayor, Tom Fitzgerald. A longtime friend of the Hurley family and somebody who the Hurley family has supported throughout his political career, Donnie Ash, Register of Probate, Register of Deeds. I didn't write that, Donnie. And his son Brian would be here, but he's got another event tonight. A good friend of mine and a great public servant, again from the town of West Springfield, Brian Clune, town councilor. Former state rep Jack Keogh. Oh, here's our good one. No wonder our insurance rates went up. Former fire and police commissioner for the city of Springfield, Bill Hurley. Candidate for mayor of the city of Holyoke. A great place, and just a lot of good friends from Holyoke here tonight as well. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate for mayor, Fran O'Connell. And anybody who needs home care, he's the man to see. Last but not least, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of a lot of the Sisters of St. Joseph who have been such an important part of my life. And Sean Cahalane, former state rep and a good friend. Laura Gentile, clerk of courts. Michael Fenton, Springfield City Council, doing a great job as president. And I'm sure there'll be other people here. I know Anthony Gallooni was trying to get here, but he had a speaking engagement. Well, that concludes the announcements, and at this time, it's great to see all of you here. I haven't seen some of you for quite some time, and I know there have been a lot of comments about my new campaign photo in the media. If you don't believe it, you can pinch me, you can tug my hair, it's all me. I actually saw a comment on Mass Live from someone who said, "What gives? She's my age and looks 20 years younger." Well, the truth is that my hairdresser has a sign over her chair. She's here tonight, Eileen Del Vecchio. And I think she got it just for me. The sign says, "I'm a beautician, not a magician." But I'm not so sure anymore. I think some may disagree. And you're all here because I've announced that I'm running for candidate as governor's council in the 8th district. And many of you asked, why are you running? I thought you were going to retire, play golf, relax, go to Florida, have a good time, take trips. And I've got to tell you, for 20 years, I was marooned from politics and elections because I was a judge. And I tried retirement, but I couldn't take one more day of The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal. I started going to political functions again. I got active in some people's campaigns that I believed in. And I saw so many old friends and found that the allure of politics was again surging in my blood. Once again, I thought about public service and running for political office. But for what? No, I don't want to be sheriff. I got asked. No, I don't want to be DA. I got asked. No, wait a minute, what about mayor? No, I think Don Sarno is doing a fabulous job. And as I told you, I said no to district attorney. And I think there's a great job that's being done by someone who's somewhat younger and dynamic, Tony Gallooni. And besides, I wouldn't have a shot at that office because my Auntie Helen, who couldn't be here tonight, she's a little under the weather. She's only 88, but she still thinks Tony is hot. I didn't want to ask who she'd vote for. So then I seriously thought about what I love most in this life and what has been so good to me. And that's the law and public service. And how can I most effectively help to improve the legal system and serve the public who has been so good to me for so many years? And then it came to me. I can run for governor's council. Granted, it's not the most glamorous job, and what they do is not well known. But I believe it can and does have a significant effect on the quality of our justice system. The 8 governor's counselors meet to give advice and consent to the governor's nominations and appointments for judges, every judge, juvenile, probate, district, appeals courts, superior court, you name it, land court. Now there's one for you, I bet you, and we have judges for that. And for the parole board, you think that's important to get people who are going to keep the bad people in jail and not let them out? And other boards, as well as pardons and commutations of sentences and other statutory duties. I can assure you it'd be a really cold day in hell before I'd be voting yes on somebody's getting a pardon or a commutation of sentence. I believe that my years of experience on the bench give me a unique perspective as to what qualities are important for a nominee of the governor to have to perform their job as a judge, a clerk magistrate, or other statutory position for the benefit of the public, which they will serve. And make no mistake, they are in a service business. I can tell you that firsthand, and they better realize that firsthand. What they do and how they do it affects each and every one of us, whether directly or through a relative or friend who's been involved in a court action as a victim or litigant or as a member of the general public concerned about public safety. I believe it is crucial to approve nominees who have integrity, good judgment, sterling reputations within their community, appropriate demeanor, and are well-versed in the areas of the law that they will be dealing with in their new position. Committing to this run for governor's council has invigorated me and given me a sense of direction for me to continue to contribute to public service and to ensure public trust and confidence in the governor's nominations. I'm respectfully asking for your help. How can you help? Well, the 8th district is huge. If it was a weather map, it would be half of it. It's Hamden, Hampshire, Franklin, and Berkshire counties, and the town of Royalston in Worcester. If you know folks in other parts of Western Massachusetts, please let them know about me and let my committee know about them. Fill out a volunteer card, either today or you can do it online. I never thought I would have a Facebook page. I spent more time telling people who came to court to complain about somebody threatening them on Facebook or dissing them on Facebook or telling terrible things about them on Facebook, how bad Facebook was. But I've learned in coming into the 21st century that Facebook can be a good thing. And if I want to talk to anybody of a certain age or younger, I better be on Facebook. So I have a Facebook page. I have a website. I'm a .com. And so I would like to ask you to like me on Facebook, ask your friends to like me as well, and share my Facebook site with others. We'll be posting things, including pictures from tonight, so, things along the way in the campaign. And I just hope that you can spread the good word. We need people like you to help me with my election, and I'm asking you tonight for your time, your talent, and your financial support to whatever extent you can to help me with my election efforts. Not tonight. Tonight was a fun raiser. Tonight was an awareness raiser. And it was a chance to get together with some great friends and relatives and supporters. And I can't tell you how touched I am by it. It means a great deal. It really does. In return, I pledge to you my best efforts and total commitment to the campaign and to serving as your governor's counselor for years to come with no ulterior motives, and I will not run for any other office but this one. I am honored by your presence and grateful for your support tonight and in the future. Thank you, everyone, so very much. As my mentor, Billy Sullivan, said, I make mistakes of the head, but not of the heart. Mike Finn is here. He's running for mayor of West Springfield. Former court officer and somebody I'd like to have in my court anytime. I'd also like to say a special thanks to my team from the mayor's office. Every one of my people that worked with me in my office are here this evening. And I just am so grateful. Thank you.